Hello everyone. Sorry about the last video. I'm working with this new equipment and new software, and I'm just getting familiar with it. I've been doing my best this morning and this afternoon to figure out how to work it all, and I think I'm making some progress, so hopefully you'll notice some improvements with this video. So I'll just do a short one here and we'll see how it goes. So we got an article from Inside Ives. It's talking about how Tesla put out their master plan part 3 document in paper form this time, not in a video presentation. It's a lot that has been learned from this paper document. So this article is regarding that. It says Tesla teases 3 new electric vehicles, including compact car with 53 kilowatt LFP pack. So kind of the most interesting point of this article is this chart here, where we get to look at the battery pack sizes, existing and upcoming vehicles from Tesla. So you can see on the top line here the compact with the LFP battery and a pack size of 53 kilowatts. Now these pack sizes are the average because different trim levels will have different pack sizes, so that's the average. There might be a bigger pack size for a long range compact, and there might be a shorter or a smaller pack size for a shorter range compact car. Then their expected vehicle sales. So we got the mid-size Model 3 and Y that everybody knows, commercial and passenger vans. We've kind of known that Tesla probably is going to make a passenger van. We've seen at the Investor Day event, it was just under a cover, but the pack size for that one would be around 100 kilowatt hours. They expect the global fleet of those to be 163 million. Then the battery is needed for the fleet, and also this is a kind of the new one here is a bus. So it kind of suggests that Tesla might make a bus with an LFP battery and a pack size of 300 kilowatt hours. So pretty interesting to see that. And a short range heavy truck with a 500 kilowatt hour battery size, and a long range heavy truck, the semi, with an 800 kilowatt hour battery pack, which we have already seen. The semi is out there now. Pepsi's took delivery of a few. That's roughly what has been calculated their battery pack size to be, about 800 kilowatt hours. I'll have to do a deeper dive on this once I figure out all my recording and software and hardware to because there's lots of good information here. So hopefully I'll have to read the actual document from Tesla and pick out the cool information for you guys, and I'll make a video on that. But next, gonna have a look at what Dan Ives has to say. He did an interview on Yahoo Finance, also partly because I want to test my editing skills and video making skills here. So we'll see how this turns out.
What about the fact, though, that they did fall short of the pace that's needed to attain that goal that Musk laid out in terms of 50% annual growth? Is that still attainable?
But I mean, sorry, I think 50% was really something they took off the table on the last earnings. I mean, now, granted, the longer term 50% goal, but really the number that the street investors are focused on is 1.8 million. And I think if you look at that, they are on or actually ahead of that pace. And that's why right now, of course, there's a lot of bulls and bears in terms of that tug of war. Despite the stock doing what it's doing, I think the bulls ultimately won this battle.
But Dan, ultimately, it comes down to this price action. I mean, we're talking about a market cap almost 3 times Toyota. 602 billion for Tesla, 231 billion for Toyota. Is that even near justified with the demand we're seeing for Tesla?
Look, and that's always the debate, right? I mean, if you look going back to Tesla Mini, they hated it at 5 billion. They despised it at $1 trillion and pulled the hair out at 600 billion. I mean, I just have always viewed it as a disruptive technology player and not a traditional auto player. That's why I view apples to oranges when you compare them just to the likes of a Toyota or others. I believe they deserve more of a disruptive tech multiple. And I think that's what you've seen happen to the stock, especially over the last few months. Now, with that said, they're held to a higher standard and they need to continue to produce. But I still think we're in the early innings of this green tidal wave playing out. a $5 trillion market in terms of EVs.
My thoughts on the comparison to Toyota there, I would say that these are two very different beasts. Like Toyota has been dragging its feet on the switch to electric vehicles, and the market is forward looking. And I believe the market sees that the future is electric. Toyota seems to be stumbling around saying, oh, we're going to do hydrogen, oh, but we're going to do electric too. Oh, we'll throw some hybrids in there. They're changing CEOs. I think the host's comment there was suggesting that, well, Toyota is valued correctly and Tesla is way overvalued, but I don't believe that's the case. Well, other than, yes, it could be that they're valuing Toyota correctly because they don't see a future for it. So it's valued very low compared to Tesla because the market sees that Tesla has a future, whereas Toyota's future is questionable. So I don't think it's, we've seen this comparison so many times, but I don't think it's the right comparison. And then, yeah, as Dan Ives pointed out, Tesla is a very different, it's not just an automotive company. It has technology that the other automotive companies are simply just not working on. They're not in that space at all, like grid storage battery, autonomous driving, artificial intelligence, basically. So it's not a fair comparison. And it's like beating a dead horse. They've said it so many times, like, well, look at Toyota, they sell so many more vehicles, but they're only valued at this. So Elon would say, don't reason by analogy. So let's check out the rest of the interview here.
Dan, what about the price cuts? Clearly they are helping sales right now. Now there's talk of further price cuts ahead. Do you buy that, given the fact, and put it in your own words, the murky macro picture right now?
Look, but they've had to ultimately rip the Band-Aid off. I think that was the smart poker move that Musk did earlier this year. It's a big reason why the stock's up. Now, of course, the debate will be, do they need to do more price cuts? I think in China, you'll see some more slight price cuts, potentially in the U.S. as well as the arms race plays out. But because of their margin structure, it gives them so much more flexibility than other vendors to do these price cuts. And I think that really continues to be the story here, especially as battery costs ultimately get reduced over the coming months and years.
So what I would say there is, questioning the price cuts. Well, these price cuts are happening across the board. Why such attention on Tesla with leading margins? Why does the media seem to question Tesla more so than any other company on these price cuts? Tesla can afford these price cuts. They have the healthiest profit margins per vehicle. They have room to cut prices, and they're in a good position to do so. The better question is, can traditional automotive companies survive these price cuts with their massive amounts of debt, etc.? In my opinion, that would be the better question to ask. Yeah, those are my thoughts on that. I'll leave it there for now. I want to make sure this video turns out properly for you guys. So I'm going to go do my editing now. And my name's Evan Bertrand. This is the Evergreen Channel. Thanks for watching.